What you got to say to the fans?
If you ain't watching CES, man, I don't know where you at. We the hottest stuff out right now, man. Y'all need to tap in.
No cap.
For Omari do something crazy.
Again. The nigga already cut off his dreads. Who's to tell what he's gonna do next?
The world may never know.
Hey, bro. Omari not good on the fly. You need like the script type shit.
Nah, I'm good on the fly, brother.
What happened? Shit, that was your chance.
Why you had to say do something crazy? Why I couldn't just be cool? Like,
cause you not cool, nigga. You crazy.
Oh, talk that thing.
CBS fights.
Hey. Okay.
Check the stance.
Damn, Tyler, check a stand. Damn, Tyler,
Big Bird done ran him off. You feel me? Run him off. Lord. Oh. Lord.
Grip your hand. Nigga grabbed every part of your hand.
Lord.
Hey, stuck to you.
It's the Tennessee Titan in him. You always forget the memory. But with that being said, man, that'll conclude episode 55 of Check the Stats Podcast. If you made it this far, make sure you leave a like, comment. Send my boy Charles some Titan gear, man. He's in desperate need of it. Cam Ward coming, Recepo coming. So, you know, he got a lot to look forward to when he takes two shellacking from the Texans this year.
Hey, the day that I'm a Titans fan is the day I keep this afro.
I mean, you still gonna...
Is that gonna change?
I got it.
Anything's possible.
Hey. Trying to see a quick replay.
You know I'm ready.
Oh, shit.
We already know Charles never ready, man.
I'm always ready, man. Stop it. You know I'm like that. Come on, man. I'm like that, man.
Hey, man, welcome back to another episode of Check the Stats Podcast, man. Episode 55. I'm the host, T. Cal. Here to the left of me, got my co-host, Big Sam, man, in the building, man. As you can see, it's something a little different about the boy today. As he got the dreads chopped off.
Yes, sir.
Lord.
Yes, sir.
How you feeling, man?
Dreads lost another one in the community, man.
That ain't
I feel good, though.
That ain't Sam, man. That's Fro, man.
Nah, I'm still Sam.
Nah, that's OG Sam, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, I ain't always have dreads.
If you know, you know.
Come on now.
And here to the right of me, man. I mean, ain't nothing new, but a little business attire, of course. We got my boy Big Versea in the building, man. Off a hard day at work. How we feeling? And obviously, of course, you know, we got Big Jessie in the back, man. The man with the plan.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Big Jessie.
Come on.
Without further ado, man, how do y'all feel, man? Tuesday, it's the summer. School out for us teachers slash college students.
Yes, sir. Lord. Hey, thank you, Lord.
Thank you.
We get a break before we get into the real world. That's
Yes,
what I'm
sir.
glad about.
See, I can't wait to count the dividends. But without further ado, man, Game 1 and 2 has already been played in the NBA Finals. As we can see, big free agent moves have happened. If you still want to call 30-year-olds big free agent moves, and obviously big players have been released. But without further ado, Big Jess, let's get into it.
All right, let's go ahead and get started with the NBA Finals. We're 2 games in, and the series is tied. But based off what you've seen so far, what team do you think is built for the long haul?
I mean, obviously you can go OKC for sure. I think OKC, it's and you know I'm rooting for Indiana. Don't get me wrong, but it's so hard to get a good shot against OKC. Like, I seen Nick Wright said it the other day, and I don't want to seem like I'm mimicking him because I've been thinking the same thing, but it is so hard to get good shots. I mean, like, you know, when you're playing any other team, you can drive, kick, drive, pass, and you're going to eventually get the open shot. OKC rotations are so crazy where you really don't even have a second to really have that clean shot. So every shot that you eventually make, it's a contested shot. It's hard. They make life hard. They're the best defense in the league for a reason. Right. They're all-time historical defense and, you know, defensive ratings and all the statistical stats that you pull up. They're up there with the top-tier teams of all time when it comes to their defensive stats. They're like that for real. But Chet Holmgren coming to the party. You got Aaron Wiggins coming up with all these threes. I think he hit about 5 threes in game 2.
Aaron Wiggins stepping up, man.
Alex Caruso's outscoring Tyrese Haliburton in the NBA Finals throughout 3 games. Like, I think OKC is just dangerous because they have so many others that can give you that level of production. And, like, you're not counting for Aaron Wiggins to give you 18 points coming off the bench. Like, any better in America would have took his under. Ain't that right, Big Jet? But we got Isaiah Joe coming off giving big threes. Alex Caruso is outscoring their number 1 player, Tyrese Haliburton.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like OKC is a little more dangerous. Yeah. A little more dangerous just because of how many parts they have, and they're really not all playing at their top peak level. Jalen Williams not really playing up to his level as he was in the Western Conference Final. Chet Holmgren, he's finally kind of coming alive in a sense. I mean, they're only getting better and better by the game. And, you know, as an Indiana Pacers believer as of now, because obviously it's SGA hate watch over here, it's getting a little scary. My palms get a little sweaty for sure. I need to see somebody come step up to the forefront and be that dude and counter this great defense with their historic great offense that they have. And as of now, I don't think anybody would be able to break free from the shackles that OKC is holding them to.
Right. I think I'm going to look at it from 2 different perspectives. On one hand, to be optimistic about the Indiana Pacers, like they did what they had to do. Like, for as bad as game 2 was from a performance standpoint, they stole a game from Oklahoma City in Oklahoma City. So, like, they have home court advantage now. All they need to do, theoretically, is win the rest of their games in Indiana, and they'll win the series and walk around with that Larry O'Brien trophy. But from the opposite side of looking at things, let's take into account of who these teams are at their best. And I think we got a great glimpse of that in these 2 finals games that we've had in game 1 and game 2. And game 1 was Indiana at its best. And what I mean by that is, like, backs to the wall, no expectations in the world. They have all the momentum showcased in the opposite end for OKC, and now they have to climb this uphill battle, climb this seemingly insurmountable mountain in order to get back into the game. But that's how they like to play. That's their style of play. That's their pace. That's how they like to get into these games. We've seen it time and time again against the Bucks. Literally last year, not only last year, but this year as well. We've seen it in round 2 when they ended up going up against the Cavaliers. We've seen it against the Knicks on multiple occasions. And we literally seen it in the first game of the NBA Finals. At their best, they're able to come from essentially any league. Yeah. But at OKC's best, they're essentially able to put their foot down your throat and just step on the gas and never let up. Yeah. So, like, Oklahoma City, they're in a position where if they're playing at the peak of their powers, we could get away with a J-Dub having multiple off nights and inefficient shooting nights because we have an Aaron Wiggins coming off the bench and giving you double digits. We have an Alex Caruso outscoring a Haliburton. We have a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander getting an efficient 30 to the point where he's averaging to the likes of over 35 a game in these finals so far. Like, we can get those numbers to where Chet Holmgren can come to the party late as opposed to starting the series off right. At OKC at their best, they're the best team in the NBA, and they showcased it in game 2. Game 1 might have been an aberration for them. So, like, at their peak of their powers, who do you trust more? Do you trust the Indiana Pacers, whose best bet to showcase how good and dominant they are as a team is to come from behind? Or Oklahoma City team, who's literally been whooping everybody's ass to this degree, not only just through the regular season, but in every single round of the playoffs. They beat Memphis by over 50 in game 1. Damn. They destroyed the Thunder. They destroyed the Nuggets in game 7 when all the momentum and pressure was swinging in their favor against them. And we already know what they did to Ant-Man. So who's to say they can't do that shit again to Indiana? I think at their best, I trust Oklahoma City.
Right. Yeah, man, I got to go Oklahoma City Thunder. Of course, I'm a fan and everything, but, man, the way that we've been playing and limiting Tyrese Haliburton, it's been amazing. I mean, you heard it. I mean, best defense in the league, man, one of the best.
The best.
Yeah, we can go ahead. We can go ahead and say the best defense in the league, man. We've been showcasing it, and like Tyler said, man, it is very hard to get shots on OKC. So if we keep on rotating and playing defense how we have been, and you know what I'm saying, and we continue to do what we do on offense, I feel like J-Dub needs to step up a little more. Like, I know he's still like fresh and everything like that for the playoffs, you know, and it comes with experience. It comes with, like, you know, adjusting to the game and everything like that. I feel like he just needs to slow down a little bit, go out there, be confident and comfortable, you know what I'm saying, and believe in himself, and he'll be all right. Because honestly, I feel like if it ain't Shea, Chet, and J-Dub, like, we ain't gonna lie, we ain't won the game. Like, yes, we have guys like Aaron Wiggins that will come up and like score like that, but it's rare. Even with Isaiah Joe, yes, they've showcased it in the season, but they've showcased it, like, I think that was my first time seeing it in the playoffs, honestly. You know what I'm saying? Other than the blowout against like the Timberwolves when Joe came out hitting all them threes. But you know what I'm saying? But you're the star. That's the thing. You're an all-star, but we put you on this pedestal and everything like that. I feel like you need to prove it. You need to keep on, you know what I'm saying, playing like an all-star. So I feel like, in my opinion, yes, OKC will take this series, most definitely. Indiana Pacers is a great team. Offensively, I ain't gonna lie. Every time Nembhard or Neesmith or, well, Haliburton too, but like that's Haliburton. But them two, every time they touch the ball, bro, I ain't gonna lie, my hands start getting sweaty. I'm like, God damn. I'm like, bro, can we please stop him? Can we please stop him? So, yeah, man. But other than that, man, I gotta take OKC for the win, man.
I feel like it's kind of like with the Pacers, you're winning by committee. Where it's like you don't necessarily know who's going to be your top dog. They kind of got that similar mode of the Rockets where you don't know who's going to be your leading scorer. Like, you expect it to be Haliburton the same way we expected it to be Jalen Green, but some nights it'll be Sengun, some nights it'll be Amin Thompson, some nights it'll be someone off the bench. For them, some nights it'll be Neesmith, some nights it might be Turner, it might be Pascal, it might be Nembhard, it might be Toppin. Like,
it might be all of them. They've had games where more than 9 players have scored in double figures.
Exactly. And, I mean, hell, we get spurts where TJ McConnell can rack up 10 points in the limited amount of minutes that he gets from the bench.
True.
Mm-hmm. So it's like, how can you expect something to come from the Pacers on a consistent level basis when it comes to scoring when they're literally scoring by whoever has the hot hand, which isn't a bad thing because to a certain extent, you don't know who's going to end up taking you to the promised land. But at the same time, if you don't have the expectation of a specific guy on a scoring level, like OKC does with Shea, it's going to be kind of tough to kind of lean and depend on a certain guy when the going gets tough.
I've realized that about their team. Like, nobody is really ball dominant. Like, they're a very like team oriented team, if that makes sense. Like,
it's a team oriented.
They're very team. Let me say this: they're very team oriented. You know what I'm saying? They don't really have. I'm not gonna say they don't have a number one.
They
option,
win by committee.
but it's like, it's a.
When Tyrese Haliburton comes along for the ride, it actually plays like a one. They're damn near unbeatable.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
When more times than not, they win by committee.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, even in game one, when he hit that game winning, he wasn't the leading scorer.
He only had like 13 points.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
Which coach do you think has made the better decisions in crunch time?
It's kind of hard to say because we got to give respect to Rick Carlisle. Like, he has a ring.
He do.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's been an underdog in the finals on multiple occasions. He's been to the finals on multiple occasions. And, I mean, realistically, if he gets this Pacers team over the hump, then we might have to start having
him in GOAT debates.
Exactly. Like, even with those only 2 titles, it's kind of impressive with how he's been able to do it with the path he's did it, not only in Dallas, but with Indiana as well.
That's impressive.
But for what Mark Daigneault is doing, it's like, that double big lineup, it's so crazy. Like, the basketball has always been played from the standpoint of like, you have to have 2 big men. And because of how the game has evolved and changed with spacing and the evolution of the 3-point shot, it's almost like the power forward has kind of gone extinct in terms of what we traditionally expect. I hopped on 2K not too long ago, and they had Josh Hart starting at the 4. And he's 6'4". They hop on a game with the NBA Finals, and they're calling it a double big lineup as if it's something revolutionary. This is something you can take advantage of if you actually have the pieces, which OKC literally does. We're seeing that in effect right now. I feel like Mark Daigneault has been doing his thing with the evolution of that.
Who do you think has done a better job in terms of leadership between SGA and Haliburton?
Probably SGA.
Yeah.
Probably SGA for sure because it's very impressive for SGA putting up the numbers he is, playing at the level he is in the biggest moments. And I feel like a lot of stars, they get to this stage, and we done seen a lot of them crumble. We seen a lot of them don't show up like the way they do in the regular season. But SGA has been very consistent. I mean, he's facing every single defensive coverage you can potentially see, from people stepping in the gaps where he doesn't have driving lanes. They're forcing him to be facilitator. And you got other roles where he's able to play one-on-one, or he's seeing different matches, and yet it's a consistent 30 ball every single night. Mm-hmm. So I think, and obviously hearing him in the post-game pressers, and he's taken that next leap as one of the better leaders in the NBA, in my opinion.
Gotta go Shea, most definitely. I mean, outside of, we talking like sports-wise and everything, not sports, but on the court-wise, man, he's really been stepping up to the occasion. And I know, like, everyone kind of had, like, questions, okay, is he going to take, like, that next step and lead his team? He's doing it for sure. I mean, shit, he's averaging 39 points a game, like, in the playoffs so far. And then
what?
He is.
Shea gets guys there to averaging 39 points a game.
Check the stats.
I don't know about 39, but he's averaging over.
He's averaging 39 against them.
Against the Pacers, in this game. You know what I'm saying?
Probably this season. Yeah. Probably this season, not necessarily this series. But to your credit,
Shea averaging 30.4 per game in the
30.4. But
to
be.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah, that's still, you know what I'm saying? Damn, I gave the wrong fact. But look, 30.4, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, check the stats. Big verse.
Hey, okay, I said it wrong. Woo-doo.
But to your credit, though, like, with SGA, forget leading the pressure. Like, he's doing it leading by example. Like,
that's true.
Like, this man has been known as a free throw merchant. He's been known as an efficient scorer, and his ability to get to the line at will and his ability to get to his spots. Well, he's saying, damn all that. Like, I'm going to chunk up 30 shots a game, and if I go down, I'm going down swinging. Like, that's something very admirable and respectful.
He got heart.
Credit for. Exactly.
He got heart, most definitely.
Like what Tyrese Haliburton is doing with his shooting splits, you're not going to see that from SGA. If he's going to go down 2 for 30, he will go down 2 for 30. But at least he's getting 30 of them bitches up.
Haliburton, he kind of been playing, I'm not going to say been playing scared. Of course, he took the win for the team game 1, but he just hasn't been, I don't know. I've seen him play better, if that makes sense.
I mean, sure, y'all are great defensively.
Yeah,
you got Lou Dort pounding him. Then you got Jalen Williams. Then you got Alex Caruso. I mean, he has no break. He got Casey Wilder. So, like, at the end of the day, Tyrese Haliburton is like it's a hard game, because I really don't. I mean, and I don't want to seem like I'm one of these young YNs where we talk about you have to have a bag and all that stuff. That's BS. But Tyrese,
he needs to follow the Steph Curry playbook. He just needs to figure out off-ball movement.
Nah, his thing is he don't have, like, he's not an on-the-dribble shooter. Like, he's a set shooter.
He's a catch-and-shoot guy.
So, like, if he can't get by you, which he isn't getting by any of those guys that I named, it's going to be a rough night, because if they're going to guard him up close to the point where he can't get that long 3-0, and now you're playing one-on-one, which they're better laterally than him. That pick and roll, they're jumping everything. Mm-hmm. So it's like he really doesn't have any advantage in this series whatsoever, outside of, like, you can't, even Hartenstein, like, they're playing him so little, he can't even take advantage of Hartenstein. Every guard, there's really every lineup he's facing is guard base.
Yeah, they added Wiggins to the starting lineup for the moment.
They change out. They make the right rotations when he comes out too. Like, they'll play small ball, and we have the 3 and Ds to do it. I mean, we got Casey Wallace, we got Aaron Wiggins. You know what I'm saying? We got all these guys that can go out there, shoot and play defense, and they can get a board as well.
But can the rest call some fouls though? Like, I swear to God, Lou Dort and Caruso is fouling they tails off, and just because they got a good rap as defenders, they can just get away with murder. I mean, golly,
I see Caruso hand check a lot. Like, I know he'll put like the
and I know it's the playoffs and all that stuff, but then you can't call it on certain people. It's a foul the other way, but just because he has a reputation, you're not gonna blow your whistle. Like, that's just not.
I think that'll change once they go to Indiana, though. Like, especially with the pressure of the home crowd, I think that'll definitely change.
Do we think the winner of Game 3 will decide the series?
No. I think they split.
Anything's possible, bro. Anything's possible.
I think they split realistically. I think I predicted it to go to 6, so I'm standing on it. But I think that OKC will win Game 5 and Game 6. I don't think they win both Game 3 and Game 4.
I think Indiana probably take 2 at home.
You think it'll go 3-1 Indiana?
Yeah.
You think so? I don't think so.
Well, they did their job, so
Okay,
they
see,
win.
going out swinging. Trying to tell you. I'm telling you. I don't know if y'all seen this, but they make adjustments after every game, and it gets better. So
if the series goes to 7, who do you trust to not break under pressure?
I trust Shay not to break on.
SGA over. I mean, not Tyrese. I mean, shoot.
I don't expect neither one of them to break under pressure. They do their thing.
Yeah, they gonna go down swinging. Like we seen what SGA did in Game 7. We seen what Tyrese has done in multiple Game 7s, or at the very least multiple series dating back to last year, where his back has been on against the wall, and he was able to at least go down swinging whenever he got the opportunity.
So as for right now, if the Thunder win, SGA is the Finals MVP.
Yeah, most
It's not even nobody else get that.
Most definitely.
You're not giving it to
Shay's been the only one hooping, really.
You're not giving it to anybody else if you got a dude on your team that's averaging 30 plus on efficient shooting splits.
For sure. Pause. Are you subscribed to Check the Stat Podcast, man? While we on this pause, you make sure you go on that YouTube link and you subscribe to Check the Stat Podcast, or you gonna make my boy Omari sad, man.
I'm gonna do something crazy.
So speaking of pressure, let's talk about the guy who's supposed to lead Indiana straight through it. Do you think Haliburton is still that guy?
I think he is, but it's like, what are we determining to be that guy? Like last time we talked about Haliburton and his potential to be a superstar, I had to ask, like, what is a superstar?
But you said yes, though, right?
I said if we're going by the standards of what y'all gave, then yeah, I'd look at him as a potential top 15 player.
No, we said superstar, and we said your superstar ranking. So is Tyrese Haliburton a superstar in your eyes?
I think he is, and the reason I say that is because of the fact of like, was Steve Nash a superstar?
Yes.
Okay.
And 2-time MVP, of course.
He's a 2-time MVP. He was a superstar in his own right. People invalidate his MVPs because he apparently stole them.
Shaq, yeah.
Took him from Shaq, took him from Kobe. But at the same time, you look at what he was capable of doing, I see a lot of similarities in their game with their level of playmaking. Now, granted, both of these offenses are extremely similar, but Steve Nash didn't have to face this tenacious defense that Tyrese is facing right now. So I think that that's giving him so many fits. But at the same time, I want to give him a little bit of credit because even when he's struggling against these guys, like to a certain extent, he's still being as efficient as possible. He's just not putting up the shots. Like if he just gets up more shots, I think that we could see an explosion from him. But the fact that he's such a facilitator at heart, we don't get a chance to really expand on how good of his game can be on the offensive side of the ball because he's passing first. He's looking for other guys to get going first because that's their offense. He's the engine of their offense. The engine doesn't necessarily get the credit for when a car goes from point A to point B. It just happens to be an integral part in that process. He's an integral part in that process. Like I told Omari, he's the ultimate pacer on the Pacers. So it's like the pace that he sets for those guys is kind of damn near horrible if you just tell him to, okay, let's make him a shoot first, score first guy. He has to be that playmaker. And I think that that's kind of a bit of a detriment to how we look at him overall offensively if he's not scoring the ball, dropping like 25 plus.
But like, I think as a superstar, you have to know moments when you have to step in there and be like, okay, like we got nothing going. I'm the top tier guy. I get the publicity if we win. I get the blame if we lose. You got to have that gear in you where it's like, I have to step up. I have to make the play. And I felt like for him, he's too, I'm not going to say lackadaisical.
He's too chill.
Yeah, he doesn't extremely passive. And I know that's the nature of his game is, you know, the value of him isn't going to be based off of how many points he has. It's not going to be assists because a lot of his, he starts to play and the breakdown goes from kick to kick to kick to the open shot. So he is the engine like you stated. But it's just something like, I'm stuck. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very stuck because it's like, on one hand, we got guys like Donovan Mitchell and we have like Jason Tatum. And we have guys, you know, of that caliber that I think he's really up there on their level, if not a little better. But it's like, I don't view him as a superstar. Like, I feel like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a superstar. Jalen Brunson is a superstar. LeBron James, superstar. Like, these guys are superstars. And like, I put him in that realm of those players. I feel it's an injustice that I'm doing to him. And like, he's a great facilitator. But have we been not watching the finals? Have we been not watching his recent playoffs this year? And outside of his big games, he have a lot of quiet games. Like Pascal Siakam won Eastern Conference Player, most valuable player for a reason.
I mean, it was 5-4. It could have went either way.
I mean, but he won it for a reason. He was way more consistent.
Yeah, he was consistent.
Like Haliburton had big moments, and obviously in game 6, you know, he showed up, but Pascal Siakam showed up as well. Yeah. Like,
so would you say that he's kind of like Brock Purdy, just like the system star?
No. In a sense, because you gotta. So you can throw Tyrese Haliburton on any team in the league, and he's turning them into this.
I think.
No.
It's
no.
Let me respond. I think with Tyrese Haliburton, what the disconnect comes from is like, is it what we're accustomed to seeing? Like, are we accustomed to seeing a guy of Brock Purdy's level dominate to the level he's doing for his standards on the 49ers with all those weapons around him? Tyrese Haliburton doesn't have the all-star caliber weapons around him to the likes of like, which are comparable to be better than damn near everybody in the Eastern Conference, let alone the rest of the NBA. His second best player is Pascal Siakam, who people looked at to be to the likes of like, okay, the Toronto Raptors are going to go into a season of prosperity post Kawhi, and now he's getting relegated to like, is he even one of the best twos in the NBA? We don't even know. We didn't even talk much about Neesmith until he went crazy against New York. We didn't talk much about Andrew Nembhard and his defense until we saw what he was doing to Jalen Brunson
last year.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's at a certain point in time, we have to call a spade a spade. Like, Tyrese Haliburton is the system for Indiana. He's not a system player.
But is he a superstar?
In their minds, I think so, because of, even though it's not what we're
talking about your mind.
In my mind, yeah. I think he's probably the worst of the superstars, but at a certain point in time, like, you take a team to the finals, you take a team to the finals.
Would you say he has a killer instinct?
He can, hell yeah. In them clutch moments, when they give him the ball, it's over with. Like, well, I ain't even gonna say 9 times out of 10, but like, it's most likely the game gonna be over. Like, that's why I really feel like Tyrese Haliburton is a superstar in my eyes. I mean, he has like those moments where it's like, all right, bro, like, yeah, we use you to facilitate, but we need you to go score that mode. And he does it. He's one of the most clutch players. That's what I'm saying. His stats haven't really been, you know, something like Shay's. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't been putting up superstar stats, but he's a system. Like, he's a team first guy. Like,
but we're not judging him off that though. Like, I mean, every player, you know. I look at in game
moments or like in game.
I'm not looking at moments. I'm sorry.
Body of work.
Could Game 3's performance change your mind?
I think it could influence, but it doesn't necessarily change my mind. I got to see how the entire series goes.
Yeah, we got to see how that.
Like, you got to also add in context. Like, he's going against one of the best defenses we've seen in a long time. Everybody struggled. Caruso, to a certain point, shut down the best player in the NBA. Ant-Man was relegated to being a pass-first player when we all know he could drop 30 on any given night. Right. And we seen what the hell he was doing to Ja Morant. Like, we got to understand, this is a great defense. And even if he underperforms to his standards against this squad, so has everybody else.
I feel you on the part, though, where you saying, like, he needs to really, like, step up and, like, you know, be aggressive. But
he took 5 shots, like, going into, like, the fourth quarter of one game. Like, what is that?
But
like,
you seen during the fourth quarter, he was putting them bitches up, though.
He was.
And they was down.
Yeah, he was cold. He was still, because he hadn't shot.
That's Dak Prescott level. I'm talking you doing right there. Dak of last year. You know, they were losing by a ton. He ended up throwing for about 400, and everybody like, did you not see the stats? He threw for 400.
I disagree. And the only reason I say that is because we understand Dak Prescott was empty calories because of the fact of the Cowboys were realistically not coming back. We literally have to get on the edge of our seats based off of the track record the Indiana Pacers have.
That's true.
You don't think so? After what they've done?
I'm not saying no to that. I'm saying as we watched game 2, I think everybody knew in the fourth quarter, every bucket he got, it wasn't like, oh my God, they're coming back. It's like, they're coming.
Running the third quarter like it was nothing.
And nobody was scared. Like, everybody, I promise you, we all watched that game. We was like, okay, like, at a certain point, they're coming back. Like OKC, like every time Tyrese Haliburton came down and hit something, they returned with an answer. Like it wasn't like before. That's why he took him out in 4 minutes. Like shoot, they wasn't. Rick Carlisle wasn't even confident in that. That's why get out of here. Get ready for Indiana.
So is Haliburton the Pacers' best player, or is he just their best passer?
Best player.
He's the best player for sure.
He better than Siakam.
Yeah, Siakam's an all-star, but he's not the best all-star on the team.
All right, so Haliburton might be on superstar probation, but one team just added a vet who might finally help get them over the top. The Texans just added Nick Chubb. Do you think that move actually pushes them to true Super Bowl territory?
I won't say it pushes them to that Super Bowl territory, but they're looking very good, like offensively. Like that backfield is dangerous, bro. Like, the only thing that concerns me is just the O-line. Hopefully that y'all have added like the necessary guys, like the better guys to improve that area. But back to that run game, yeah, man. Like I feel like Nick Chubb that's gonna be like a 1-2 punch right there. That's gonna be like a thunder and lightning kind of in a sense. Like two good backs, him and Joe Mixon gonna go crazy back there. Like I'm actually excited to see that. I'm gonna most definitely be tuned in. But
is he coming off an injury?
Yeah,
he broke his leg. His leg like snapped. Like
I think it was a tibia or something like that.
Yeah, it's like his leg was like
still be the same.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like sure that's the reason why he was available so long.
Carries out of him?
Yeah,
not sure.
I think so.
Not sure. Yeah.
I feel like the more he plays, the better he'll adjust to the game. Like his confidence will go back up because of course when you're coming off a serious injury like that, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna bother you. It's gonna you got to get out those mental blocks and everything like that. But I feel like Nick Chubb, I feel like he's gonna do good with y'all, bro. That's a very good system that he's in, honestly. You know what I mean? So
I think the reason I have much confidence in Chubb and his ability to be like a combo back with Joe Mixon, like splitting carries in the backfield, is like we saw the same thing happen with Breece Hall. Like he's still 1,000-yard capable back. Like he's not necessarily going to be the most explosive guy in the world. I don't expect Nick Chubb to bust you for 90-yard touchdown runs like he was doing in Cleveland, but like he could get you a cool 400 to 500 yards in a season if he's splitting carries with Joe. Yeah. I think while I don't think it necessarily puts us over the hump, I think it kind of gives me that same level of premise that I had coming into last year when we signed Stephon Diggs, like without the hindsight being involved. At that moment in time, I was thinking like, okay, we have an insurance policy. Like, if somebody gets hurt, we should be good theoretically. If somebody gets hurt in that running back core that we have, we should be good theoretically. Joe Mixon, we have him. He's a top 10 running back. Damian Pierce, we just forgot about him. We don't give him carries, but when he's on the field, he has the ability to be productive. Woody Marks from USC, he's been electric in college, and we have an ability to utilize him in the backfield as a gadget guy. Mm-hmm. Dare Ogunbowale, like, he's a great pass blocker to a certain extent. And now we just added a all-pro caliber running back, albeit coming from an injury, but he's capable of being extremely serviceable for us. That's going to open up the passing game. The run blocking hasn't necessarily been the biggest weakness on the Texans core. Yeah. So, like, if we could take advantage of this amount of talent that we have in the running back room, we should be theoretically an improved team.
So, obviously, adding Nick Chubb would be helpful, but do you think it would get you over that hump when it comes to the Chiefs, the Bills, the Ravens?
Yeah.
No.
I feel like having a run game is very important because you can just beat the team down, the defense down. I mean, ground and pound, literally. Tire them out, then y'all get the passing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a bad move in my eyes. What you thinking?
Do you think they still have questions to answer when it comes to the O-line?
Absolutely.
Yes, for sure. You got to prove it. At the end of the day, obviously we picked up a lot of guys in free agency and within the draft, and a lot of people say it was we're still going to be the worst O-line in the league, but I seen us that year before, CJ rookie year, with a makeshift O-line. We got George Fannin there, Shaq Mason, Juice Scruggs, Laremy Tunsil, and I forgot who was the last person on that line. But
was it Titus?
I don't even know, because you know how injury-prone Titus Howard is, but that line held up way better than that stacked line that we were supposed to come into the year with this year. So I'm happy we got rid of Titus. I'm happy we drafted old boy from Minnesota.
Ariante Urson.
I'm glad we picked up Cam Robinson. I'm glad we picked up Trent Brown. Like I feel like at the end of the day, the system makes the player. The player doesn't make the system, especially on the offensive line, because some guys are zone based. Like everybody isn't the same level of lineman in certain schemes. So I feel like we got enough linemen where we can make shift our O line until we find the perfect piece. And Joe Mixon and Nick Chubb in the backfield together. I mean, I feel like that has the potential of being dangerous, but I mean, Nick Chubb had only played 10 games within the last 2 years.
But we know Nick Chubb a dog, bro.
But that's been 3 years, and running backs age like in dog years.
Well, that's why I'm so confident in like
he 29 too, and technology has advanced.
Well, not only that,
he broke his leg.
But so did Breece Hall.
This is the same guy.
He's still productive on the Jets. Is he not?
He was squatting 5.
Like we ain't expecting him to go rush for 1,500. But I'm pretty sure he could get you a band.
How much pressure do you think has been taken off of Nico Collins?
No.
He's still
the best receiver one.
Yeah, they ain't gonna change nothing but him.
He the vet on the team now, which is crazy to say.
Does this change the identity of the Texans?
No.
I think our identity, and it's gonna sound crazy to say, but like I'm letting my Madden identity get to me, but like, damn, it does so much wonders when you're a run first team because it opens up everything in terms of what you have the mercy of the defense at your beck and call. Like you could dot them up for a long ball. You could hit them with a play action. You could motion shift, do everything you want based off of if you get 4 yards here, 5 yards there, if you're attacking the zones, if you're going east and west and turning that into north and south. Like you have the ability to do anything on the offensive side of the ball with a great running game. And with the Texans, they should have that just like they did last year.
Would you say that this is the Texans' version of the McCaffrey trade?
McCaffrey?
No, not McCaffrey, because McCaffrey was essentially the best running back in the league. He was just in a shitty system. This is a dude that's coming off of a major injury.
But Chubb was one of the best backs in the league, though. He was for sure top 5.
It's a difference between being top 5 and being the one.
True that.
But he was one of the best, so.
Yeah.
On to the next topic, though, man. With the addition of...
Sorry. Like, pull your shorts down.
Oh, yeah. That nigga looked naked in the last video. Like, nigga, in the last video, I say, where the fuck is your shorts at, nigga? Hey, nigga.
So reports are swirling that Jaire Alexander might be on the move. If that's true, which team do you think should be all over that?
I think realistically, and it's going to be shocking, and obviously you don't want to hear it, of course, but I feel like the Philadelphia Eagles would be a good fit for Jaire Alexander. For starters, I mean, Kelly Ringo, you don't really trust in him. Jaire Alexander got released. He was making $20 million per year, so, I mean, and obviously we heard about his, he missed 20 games these past 2 years. His level kind of dropped in a sense these past 2 years. His first 5 years, he was amazing. All pro.
Replace Slay or Bradbury?
Yeah, for sure. Bradbury was awful, but Slay for sure. I think Slay picked it up this previous year, but the last year he was awful. But I think Jaire for that team that really has a question that DB2 would come in, and obviously he's going to be. I don't know. Would you say he's better than Quinyon Mitchell right now?
I don't know. Like, because if you gonna have
it's been a minute since I've seen Jaire play.
You're gonna have to push one of the two to basically like a slot corner. Yeah. Like I'm not saying they can't do it, but like
the gene is that slot.
Well, I'm saying like for a primary role. I understand how Darius Slay he picked up his play at the end of the season, but like to a certain extent, Jaire Alexander is still one of them ones. He just had bad management between him, or bad relationship between him and Green Bay.
But I don't think that he's going to get the money that. I feel like, obviously reports coming out with him, his character issues and things of that nature, obviously not being durable, missing 20 games within the last 2 years. I feel like for him, this is kind of the opportunity for him to take less money on a contender, build up his stock in a sense, just kind of like a Stephon Diggs situation where obviously your character was
Concerning.
Concerning coming out of Buffalo, coming to Houston, rejuvenized the franchise in a sense with your charisma after getting injured, and when you're out there, you're being a good guy, and he ended up getting rewarded with a solid contract for a guy coming off of another ACL injury. So I feel like Jaire, this is really his chance to reclaim himself as one of those top tier guys, take a 1-year deal on a real competitive team. And I would say the Eagles would be the perfect team for him to build up his character, build up his reputation again. And if he balls out, which I have no doubt that he has the potential of balling, he's going to get a big contract within the next year.
All right, facts.
Do you think the Lions can use his help?
That's what I was thinking, bro. Because I'm looking from the standpoint of like their defense.
Their defense already stacked, but it's like.
But they got Carlton Davis.
They do have Carlton Davis, and they got Terrion Arnold. But like,
maybe T need to take a seat back. I don't know, and learn from one of the guys. Because like the holding penalties.
That grab is something serious. That'll cost you games. And their DB, while as great as they were from a safety standpoint, like at times because of the injuries, it did get exposed. And the NFL is not a game that isn't considered dangerous. Like you will be in a position where if your team doesn't have the depth necessary, or unless you don't have a lucky season when it comes to avoiding the injury bug, you're going to get fucked up legitimately as a team by injuries. So I'm looking at the Lions' perspective. I'm like, okay, they kind of don't necessarily need a corner, but at the same time, it's like
they can utilize
them. Like he definitely would help them in the sense. I don't know if they can necessarily afford them, but at the same time, in terms of fit and in terms of establishing a culture with the departure of Aaron Glenn on the defensive side of the ball, he's a tone setter. He's a talker. He gonna get with you, and he has the type of game to back it up still to this day. He just got to be on the field.
Do you think he could be the missing playoff piece for the Ravens?
For the Ravens? I don't know. They pretty stacked that corner. No, they got Nate Wiggins and who's the guy on the other side?
Marlon Humphrey.
Humphrey. So and they both held their own. I mean, he would be good for the Ravens, yes, because he fits like that AFC, like that tough. I'm gonna talk that shit. Like he fits that, yes, but like he fits that team. But I'm not even sure what their cap space is. But he looked good with the Ravens. Yeah, I can see him with that. I mean, they'd probably put him over Nate Wiggins, or like they would alternate. You know what I'm saying?
So, Mar, who is your team that you think that Jaire Alexander would be the best fit for?
I seen trade talks with the Bills.
No trades. So he's released now.
Yeah, he released.
So he's a free agent. So he can go anywhere.
He chooses his home.
Oof.
What would you think about like the Commanders?
That need a corner?
A team that desperately needs physicality and leadership with the Jags.
They got Hunter.
They got Trav, but I mean...
And that's a rebuilding team. I think Jaire, he's only going to contenders. I feel like he's not... Obviously, he could go somewhere and get the bag, of course, but why would you do that if you could just build your stock somewhere off a 1-year stop on a contender? I feel like a team like the Chargers in a sense. Like, he can go there, play up against Mahomes twice a year.
Yeah, that's true.
Being a, I mean, they was a good defense for the most part.
Yeah,
so
Jessie Minter could probably bring that Jaire Alexander that we seen in Green Bay out of him.
What about
that'd be nice.
What about Seattle?
No,
you don't think Seattle? I mean, like they could be on the type of time with the Vikings. Like you don't really expect too much.
What about the Vikings? Are they straight?
No, the Vikings would sure need his services. Like I feel like a lot of teams, like the Rams.
I feel like we for sure. I feel like the Chargers for sure.
He can replace Xavier Howard.
Xavier Howard was nowhere near the level of corner that Jaire Alexander.
Yeah, most definitely.
At his best too.
Do you think the Dolphins are contenders with him?
No,
they're not contenders with him. Without him, they're not contenders.
They got a lot of problems.
So is Jaire the true CB1?
No. Well, yeah, it's just CB1 on the championship contending team for sure. But like CB1 in the league, no, that's Derek Stingley.
Nigga, he was talking about on the team.
Yeah, I said on any other team, yeah, but in the league, no.
DSJ, float like a butterfly, sting like a lee.
Boy, you like Surtain. You said it yourself.
When did I say Surtain was CB1?
Oh my God.
He's most definitely.
It's the Tennessee Titan in him. You always forget the memory. But with that being said, man, that'll conclude episode 55 of Check the Stats Podcast. If you made it this far, make sure you leave a like, comment, Send my boy Charles some Titan gear, man. He's in desperate need of it. Cam Ward coming, Recepo coming. So, he got a lot to look forward to when he takes 2 shellackings from the Texans this year.
Hey, the day that I'm a Titans fan is the day I keep this afro.
I mean, you still good.
Is that going to change?
I got it.
Everything's possible.
Hey.
But, man, Sam, man, Big Verse, it's a pleasure doing business with you. Big Jess in the back, great as usual. But with that being said, Big Verse, any last words, wisdom, remarks?
I'm going to give y'all some wisdom. I learned this today. Bamboo grows at a consistent rate for the first few years. We know it to be super duper tall, but bamboo, when it starts off year 1, it grows an inch. Year 2, it grows an inch. Year 3, it grows an inch. And it gets to where year 4 grows?
Another inch.
Another inch. What about year 5?
It stopped.
Nah, it keeps growing. What does it grow? What length?
You said what length is it?
Yeah. What length does it grow to?
It's not a riddle.
It's not a riddle. It's a regular question. Does it grow another inch?
Yeah, grow another inch.
Nah.
It don't?
It grow 15 feet.
Oh shit.
When you got that level of foundation set for your roots to take shape, you can explode and elevate and get to a higher level of success. And what I'm telling you right now, you can verify on Google, you can verify on Microsoft Bing, you can verify on Yahoo, ChatGPT,
Safari.
Nigga, people using X nowadays, you can verify that shit on Grok. But at the end of the day, what I'm telling you is the truth. What I'm telling you is the real. What I'm telling you is the facts. And if you ever need them facts, for the love of God, don't ever hesitate to check them damn stats, nigga.